They say silence is louder than words in Dallas, but right now, Jerry Jones's silence feels deafening. A storm cloud looming over a Cowboys season, teetering on the brink between salvation and surrender. The owner's latest comments, tossed casually into the chaos after a brutal loss to Chicago, have set the NFL rumor mill ablaze. If the opportunity arises to do something special with Dallas's stockpile of draft picks, Jones says he'll do it. And in that single sentence lies the hope and fear of an entire fan base. It's a sentiment soaked in irony, given how recklessly the Cowboys have treated those same picks in the past, but also one steeped in urgency. This team, for all its flaws and fractures, still believes it is a playoff contender, and its owner still dreams of one last Super Bowl run before the clock runs out. And so the whispers grow louder by the day. Of blockbuster trades, desperate swings, and franchise-altering gambles as Dallas stares down a trade deadline that could either revive its season or accelerate its collapse. The question haunting the franchise is not can they make a move. With 2 first-round picks and ample draft capital, they undoubtedly can. But rather, should they? And if so, how far are they willing to go to salvage a season that's slipping through their fingers? Inside the Cowboys' war room, the calculations are relentless and conflicting. Trade for an offensive weapon like Alvin Kamara, Breece Hall, or the explosive Devin Achane, all tantalizing options but costly and uncertain, or hold the line and trust a backfield led by the surprisingly resurgent Javonte Williams, whose bruising runs and league-leading success rate have defied expectations. The allure of a star back is undeniable, but the Cowboys' problems run far deeper than the run game. The defense, once the pride of the franchise, has been gutted, its identity shattered by the trade of Micah Parsons and the subsequent unraveling of a once-feared unit. The defensive line is inconsistent, the linebacker core thin, the secondary unreliable. At times it feels like a dam with too many cracks to patch before the flood breaks through. Edge rushers are at the top of every mock trade board. Names like Trey Hendrickson, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Phillips are whispered with the reverence of potential saviors. But each comes with baggage: age, injury, contract demands, draft cost. Even Danielle Hunter, once thought untouchable, is now part of the speculation carousel. But again, the question lingers. How much is too much to fix a defense that might simply be beyond repair this season? The internal debate is fierce, almost philosophical. This is not just about adding a player. It's about defining the soul of the franchise and confronting an uncomfortable truth: the Cowboys may not be good enough. The offense, fueled by a 32-year-old Dak Prescott playing at an MVP caliber level, is built to win now. It is on paper playoff ready, capable of scoring with anyone in the league. But the defense is not. And in a league where championships are forged in January trench wars, no amount of offensive fireworks can compensate for a defense that bleeds yards and points. That tension between what the Cowboys are and what they want to be is the fulcrum upon which their entire season balances. Should they push all their chips in, sacrificing future assets for a chance, however slim, at a deep playoff run? Or should they accept the uncomfortable reality that their championship window may not align with their current roster, that the smarter play is patience, self-scouting, and a strategic rebuild aimed at 2025 and beyond? Jones's Jurassic Park analogy, "Don't be so obsessed with what you can do that you forget to ask if you should," is more than a quote, it's a philosophy. And yet, for all the rational arguments for restraint, the emotional pull of win now is powerful. Prescott's prime is finite. CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson are ascending stars. The NFC is wide open. Could a bold trade tilt the balance, shock the league, and resurrect Dallas's Super Bowl hopes? Or would it be reckless overreach, mortgaging tomorrow for a mirage today? Around the league, rival executives watch with fascination and a hint of schadenfreude, knowing the Cowboys' desperation could drive them to overpay. Inside the locker room, players and coaches put on brave faces, but they feel the weight of the moment in ways the cameras can't capture. There's a tension in the air that lingers even after the lights go out, and the reporters clear the room. a heaviness born not just of recent losses, but of the creeping realization that every decision, every snap, every rep might be shaping the trajectory of this franchise for years to come. Every missed tackle now feels like more than just a mistake. It's a symptom of a deeper rot that has infected the heart of a once feared defense. Every blown coverage is no longer an isolated lapse. It's a reminder of what they no longer are. And every stalled drive on offense feels like a wasted opportunity to make the most of a window that is closing faster than anyone wants to admit. The shadow of Micah Parsons looms over it all, not just the absence of his pass rushing terror or his sideline to sideline dominance, but the hole his departure carved into the team's identity. It wasn't just a player they lost when they traded him. It was the swagger, the tone setter, the gravitational force around which the defense revolved. Without him, the Cowboys are a constellation missing its brightest star, and no amount of rotation, scheme tweaking, or motivational speeches has filled that void. And so they find themselves at a crossroads defined by uncertainty and risk. On one path lies the patient, calculated approach. Stand pat, ride out the storm, and treat this season as the bridge to a future rebuilt around a new core. That would mean hoarding draft picks, targeting blue-chip defenders in April, chasing elite pass rushers in free agency, and perhaps even reconsidering the philosophical foundation of the defense itself. It could mean bringing in a coordinator who specializes in reinventing struggling units or reshaping the roster piece by piece until it resembles something closer to the championship caliber group this fan base has been yearning for since the days of Aikman and Irvin. It would be the responsible play, the long view, the one rooted in logic and patience, but it comes with a bitter pill. The likely waste of another season of Dak Prescott's prime and the possibility of losing the faith of a fan base that has waited too long for glory. On the other path is the gambler's choice, the bold swing, the all-in move that could either rescue the season or cripple the franchise for years. That means picking up the phone, dangling those precious first-round picks, and going after difference makers right now. It means targeting an elite edge rusher who can tilt the field, a lockdown corner who can erase a side, or a defensive anchor who can resurrect the unit's soul. It means reshaping the roster mid-season and betting that the new pieces will not only fit, but elevate everyone around them. It's a plan drenched in risk, the kind of gamble that has burned franchises before, but it also carries the allure of immediate relevance, of seizing the opportunity rather than waiting for it to arrive. Because windows in the NFL don't politely knock. They slam shut without warning. And if the Cowboys have learned anything in the past 2 decades, it's that next year is a mirage that fades as quickly as it appears. Jerry Jones knows this better than anyone. He's been here before, standing at this same intersection of ambition and reality, haunted by the ghosts of almost seasons and undone potential. He's watched teams good enough to compete fall short because they hesitated, and he's seen bold gambles explode spectacularly in his face. But at 81, the stakes are different now. Every decision feels more urgent, every year more precious. This isn't just about roster construction, it's about legacy. And as the trade deadline approaches, the pressure builds like a storm over the Texas plains. Fans refresh their phones by the minute, desperate for news. Talk shows speculate wildly. Rivals lurk, ready to pounce if Dallas blinks. And inside the Star, the conversations grow more intense by the hour, as front office executives debate not just who to trade for, but who the Cowboys truly are. Because that's the heart of it. This isn't merely about one move, one player, or one